Andy Hateley, Hiroya Minowa, 14 years old, a lot of hype, a lot of buzz, working with Jerry Yang Racing and Juku Racing, one of the OG sponsors of Formula Drift back in the day. And Andy Hateley, the Drift Wizard, I mean, guy's having so much fun, but he wants to win.
Yeah, Minowa was 4 years old when Andy Hateley was here last. Andy told me, he's the one who gave me the stats, so he said I
really?
can say it. But yeah, Andy did run here back before we had the separation between Pro and Pro Spec, and spent some time down in Pro Spec and back up with up in the big leagues again.
Love it. Andy Hateley in the Pro building, new livery. So he picked up that Evil sponsorship literally on Tuesday. They went over to him and they're like, "Hey, here you go, put that sticker on your door," and he's like stoked. Yeah, shout out to the boys at Evil. They're over in Redlands, California. Here we go. Andy Hateley across the nose of Minowa, that Juku Racing, 86. Oh, man, everybody struggled with that first initiation point. Minowa, he's right there. Minowa's doing exactly what he needs to do. You can see proximity, just learning the car. He seemed really confident in that chasing position. Minowa, again, both these guys, rookie into pro.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. It was a very expert level chase. So I want to touch on it again here. Normally in the old rule set, this would have probably been an incomplete from Andy, but under the new rule set, this is not. He did not. He did come out of drift. Did he drive straight for a little bit? Yes. Was not over 2 seconds, so the run goes on. So Hiro needs to continue chasing, does a great job. Expert move there. Holding the car back, understanding he was too deep in the pocket when Andy went to transition, holds the car back, gets back on front. Like, driving well beyond his years with that move. That is so difficult to do. So Andy comes out of a lot of angle. It's going to be a massive detriment in the eyes of the judges, but does still get through the run. And that's kind of the beauty of this new rule set is, like, normally that'd be, we'd be arguing, was it a zero? Did his wheels go straight? What is drifting? But now we get to see the rest of the run. So we're getting back to, like, the roots of drifting. Yeah. Like, this is back to, okay, he made a big mistake, but let's just keep going.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think that margin of error is minimized because of maybe, you do have that quick correction, but give it a beat, get back on it, bang doors.
Exactly.
Here we go, Minowa out front, Andy Hateley in the chase position. Minowa, let's see how it initiates across the nose of the BMW. Andy Hateley, he jumps to the side. Big correction, big angle from Minowa. Oh, Minowa, that got a little funky there. That got really difficult for Andy Hateley to actually follow.
Yeah.
We're going to have to run that back. It seemed that Minowa impeded where Hateley could go. He had massive angle going to that first outside zone when he came into view and then transitioned back, and it seemed like he hung it out there way too much, hung it out to dry, and Andy had to avoid him.
I think it's going to come down to which mistake was bigger. Andy did straighten out. It's still chaseable. Hiroya went with a lot of angle. Was that considered chaseable? In my eyes, that's what it's going to be. This is it. This is our new judges.
Yep.
This is their time to shine. They get to look at this. So much angle there, but then was able to get out, basically misses all of outside zone 2, misses a good chunk of outside zone 3, but then the rest of the run is fine. Yeah. So not perfect, but definitely acceptable. So yeah, it's time for the new guys to earn their pay, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you bring up a great point. Like, hey, you're hearing the big boys, and this track is so unforgiving. Yeah, Minowa, it snapped back on him.
Yeah. He went in real hard in outside zone 1, catches the wall, gets back on throttle. The car's pointed the wrong way, gets it back around, but basically disregards outside zone 2. But yeah, Andy's wasn't great either. So, I'm sure the chat's got its opinions on which mistake is bigger than the other, but we don't have one more times.
Nope.
And if we do have one more times, when we get into our normal bracket,
yes,
the idea behind the one more time moving forward is going to be the run has to be an 85, or the idea of it has to be a quality run, and the decision for the one more time needs to be because the run was so great we can't decide. Not the run was terrible, we can't decide. We're going to get into that tomorrow a bit more, but just giving you a precursor to wrap your head around.
We say it all the time, and it kind of pains us, and just being honest, not naming anybody.
Yeah.
Right? But when a run is just bad on bad, you're like, I don't want to see that again. You know what I mean? Like, we want to see, if it's boxing, if it's soccer, if it's, you want to see the best thing. You don't want to see, let's see these two bad runs again.
Yeah. Andy really only flubbed that initiation, and it almost looked like his e-brake didn't lock up in time because he threw the car sideways. There was a ton of side bite in there. But I would have expected to see like an e-brake pull considering the attitude of the car, and we didn't see that. So I'm wondering if he had an issue with the e-brake, and that's why. But realistically, man, it's so tough.
Yeah.
Love the drift wizard on the peeking out at the top of the roof. Those videos are incredible.
Oh, they're so good.
So judges still deliberating a little bit as to what's going on. Some conversation back and forth. So what they are deciding is who had better leads, because I believe that's the default, right?
Yep.
It's a sub 85 for both leads, right?
Yes, we're getting word in from Ryan that, like I said, the rule book is completely changed, so we're all making sure. But
there we go. So it's going to go down and default to the lead. So Hateley and Minowa, it looks like Minowa gets the win on his debut, will be in the top 32, 14 years old from Japan. Unfortunately, Andy Hateley having some mistakes there, so Minowa advances on, and that was unanimous.
Yeah, it was unanimous. So, I mean, I see where they're coming from on it, that, the one mistake there for Minowa as opposed to kind of what the rest of the run looked like. He did sacrifice outside zone 2, but the rest of the run, the other zones, the inner clip, all were great. So, whereas Andy had a couple more compromises later in the run.